So I'm going to give you one of the biggest problems with the way conversations about family court and parental alienation happen online. Flattened. Everything gets flattened into slogans. Never keep a child away from someone they love. Never, never, never. All sounds very noble and very moral and emotionally powerful. But it's just not real life, is it? It's just not real life. It isn't. Real life is not a fridge magnet quote. Let's be honest. Yeah. Because children absolutely can. They absolutely love someone and still not feel emotionally safe with them. Yeah, that is the part people struggle to understand. They literally, it blows their mind. A child can love an alcoholic parent, an abusive parent, a manipulative parent, a mentally unstable parent, even a violent parent, whatever they've normalized, that's what they can love. Yeah, children are biologically wired to attach. Attachment and safety are not always the same thing. Gosh. Yeah, that's why family court cases become psychologically complicated instead of morally simple. The internet wants heroes and villains. Reality gives you trauma bonds, loyalty conflicts, fear, guilt, survival instincts, and children trying to emotionally regulate adults twice their size, literally. And this is where people get themselves into a pickle because some parents hear the child doesn't want to contact and instantly think alienation. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes they are. But sometimes the child genuinely does not feel emotionally safe, or they're exhausted or overwhelmed or frightened of conflict or protecting themselves from volatility, pressure, interrogations, emotional dependency, or unpredictability. And here's the uncomfortable truth nobody likes saying out loud. Wanting contact is not automatically the same as being emotionally healthy for the child. A parent can desperately love their child and still damage them. And people hate hearing that because modern culture treats love like a magical defense in court. He loves his kids. She loves her kids. Okay, good. Most people do. Love alone does not equal emotional regulation. Love alone does not equal safety. Love alone does not equal healthy parenting. Some parents, love through control, some through guilt, some through emotional dependency, some through fear, and some through possession. Some people call trauma love. Some call obsession love. Some call access love. And children feel that. Now, equally, and this matters a lot, children can also reject a perfectly decent parent because they've been emotionally influenced, pressured, manipulated, or pulled into loyalty conflicts by the resident parent. That absolutely happens too. Probably more than society wants to accept, especially in high conflict separations. A child learns, if I show warmth towards dad, mum becomes upset. Or if I enjoy time with mum, dad becomes hurt. So the child adapts, not because they're evil, not because they're manipulative, because they're surviving emotionally. Children are little nervous systems trying to keep stability around them. That's why courts are supposed to look beyond simplistic slogans and ask, why is the child resisting? What's driving that fear? Coaching, trauma, pressure, past behavior, current behavior, conflict exposure, emotional burden, protective alignment, because the why matters more than the slogan. And honestly, some people online don't want nuance. Nuance ruins outrage. Fuck you if you keep a child away from someone they love. I get applause from the first glance, but sometimes children need temporary emotional distance while adults stabilize. And they stabilize themselves in the environment psychologically. It doesn't fit so nicely into an Instagram poster, does it? Too human, too complicated, too real. And here's another uncomfortable part. I love these uncomfortable ones. Sometimes adults fight for contact in ways that actually push the child further away. Did you think about that? Constant litigation, pressure, interrogating the child, emotional speeches, guilt, crying in front of them, making the child responsible for the parent's emotional survival. That creates enormous emotional weight for the child. The adult thinks, I'm fighting. I'm fighting all I've got because I love them. I love them. I'll do everything I can for them. And the child's thinking, the child experiences, I'm drowning in everybody's emotions, completely different realities. And this is why psychologically, the best outcomes usually happen when adults stop treating the child like evidence in a war and start treating them like a nervous system under stress. Because children absorb tension, every silent tension, especially silent tension. And the hardest truth of all, sometimes a loving child means tolerating temporary rejection without emotionally collapsing or retaliating. That takes maturity most adults simply do not have, especially wounded adults, especially traumatized adults, especially adults whose identity becomes fused with, if my child rejects me, I am worthless. That's dangerous territory. Very dangerous territory psychologically. The court's job in theory is not to reward adult feelings. Simple. It's to protect the child's welfare under the Children Act 1989. That includes emotional safety, stability, identity, attachment, protection from harm, and long-term psychological well-being. Not slogans, not social media outrage, not adult ego, just because a child loves someone doesn't automatically mean unrestricted access is healthy at that moment in time. And equally, just because a child rejects someone doesn't automatically mean the rejection is authentic or freely formed. That's the difficult middle ground people hate sitting on. That middle ground is where the truth usually lives. And honestly, the older I get, the more I realize most people don't actually want truth. They want emotional certainty, because certainty feels safer than complexity. This is how I view things. Buongiorno.